Hello, dingbats.
Hey, stupid.
It's another episode of the Prairie Dawgs podcast, and it's a good one.
Episode 10. It is a good one. What do we talk about?
Talk about some shop talk, some interesting stage stories from behind the scenes at the club.
Totally. Talked about being insulted by out-of-town headliners.
But it's fun, though. But it's fun, you know?
Not always.
And then we dug into a meaty story, the Battle of Seven Oaks.
Battle of Seven Oaks.
Cuthbert Grant and his boys.
Guys getting blasted in the face.
Semple takes one to the temple. You know what I'm talking about?
Shit, dude.
Prairie Dawgs starts now! Well, welcome back to the Prairie Dawgs podcast.
Episode 10.
10. I am, as always, Tyler Kotowski.
I am Tyler Penner.
He/him.
I'm they/me.
Just trying something new out.
Totally.
What are your pronouns? Sound off in the comments
Sound
below.
off in the comments if you have pronouns. Yeah.
Well, welcome back this week once again. Brought to you by Rumors Comedy Club.
Rumors Comedy Club. Yet another contest going underway this week for the Prairie Dawgs and Rumors Comedy Club.com.
Yep.
You can win 4 tickets to Rumors Comedy to see Mike Feeney.
To be clear, you can buy as well, and you should.
You should buy tickets for that.
But this is a good opportunity to win them.
Yeah. I heard he's a super funny dude. I'm not sure yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't actually. We should have done research.
He's great. I like him a lot. Yeah, from the Here's the Scenario podcast. If you're familiar with those fellas,
sick,
super funny pod. He'll be great. So yes, it's the Saturday early show.
That we're
giving away tickets for. And if you go to our Instagram, the contest will be on there, I guess.
Yeah, that's actually. I mean, the early show, I've noticed, has to be one of the best ways to start a night off. The show starts at 7:15. And then, boom, it's done by like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Now you're ready to hit the clubs, go downtown, go to the Palomino. Try to stay healthy. And
At the Palomino?
At the Palomino.
Unlikely.
Totally. You're fighting a losing battle. But at the same time, it doesn't matter how sick you get. You saw a great show to kick the night off. So, Rumors Comedy Club, go to rumorscomedyclub.com. Also, the only comedy club in Winnipeg that is still open during the summer.
Imagine that. It's not like it's a fucking ice cream shop. What are you doing?
What do you do?
Run the business.
No, you don't understand, though. They don't have...
No, the demand for laughs in the summer is just down, so we got to shut her down.
People don't laugh when the sun's out.
Okay.
So they had to close it down. But Rumors is still open. Rumors is, like I said, the only comedy club in Winnipeg that is still open. So go check it out. And we got a contest brewing. You can look online. Follow us on Instagram at prairie.dogs, right?
Yep.
Yeah, totally. Follow us on Instagram. You'll get all the contest details. And you could win free shit to a free show. That's not bad.
And it'll be a good one.
There you go. That is our advertising. We're being sponsored by Rumors Comedy Club. And I feel like that's not bad advertisement. We get it out of the way right off the top.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we're talking about comics.
Yes. In your hot local comics in your area.
Yeah. Hot local comics. Totally. Comics ready to fuck.
Yeah. These comics, and they do, but they don't advertise that part, but they do want to sleep with you.
They do. they do. So click the link.
It's not on the ticket or anything, but
you know what? I was watching clips on, YouTube Reels. You just get clips of podcasts and stuff like that.
I love them.
I get, for some reason, even though I never like them, I never share them, I don't do anything with them, I get a ton of clips for Joe Rogan podcast. It's
the most popular podcast.
Of course. But then his advertising style, it's getting so transparent, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to slip it in conversation.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Like Wiz Khalifa was on there and he's like, you know what I do now health-wise? Well, I get all my meals sent to me weekly. They deliver me every meal and it's healthy and I don't got to cook. It's really convenient. And Joe's like, wow, that's incredible. Jamie, pull that up because that sounds really interesting. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I know what you're doing. Stop trying to sell me shit.
Wiz Khalifa's like, I got one right here, actually.
Yeah,
Joe,
totally.
try a bite of this.
It's a great company. And you know what's crazy? The shipping was free too. And I got 10% off because I used this code. It's like, dude, just tell me it's an advertisement. Like, there's another whole, 10-minute segment where Joe Rogan's like, yeah, I actually figured out how to stop snoring. It was just actually this, great device that I used by this company my buddy told me about. I'm like, Joe, enough, all right?
There has to be laws against that.
There's got to be laws against that because there's a lot of morons out there who don't realize they're being advertised to, and it should be illegal.
That's the thing. I'm not advertising anything ever to you guys.
Me neither.
Man, that's refreshing. Man,
that hurts.
Man, that's refreshing. So like I was saying, we'll never advertise you anything. What I wanted to say
Sorry.
was that rumors, no, it's don't pay. Don't apologize.
I'm sorry. And I mean
Apology counter.
I shouldn't have done that.
No, sincerely. Do you accept?
Yeah.
I'm going to start being that guy apologizing and then going, no, really. Do you accept that?
Now, actually, can you forgive me?
Start crying. I think I could probably get myself to cry.
Yeah.
In that scenario, like, if I really sold myself that, like, it means this, whatever this interaction is, it means a lot to me that they forgive me. I could probably get myself to cry.
Well, let's try to cry right now. Let's try it. No.
I think I'd have to have dialogue.
Yeah, totally.
I like how we both just went with pushing it out like it's a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
We both just went brute force.
Totally.
No finesse.
Yeah.
Not trying to think of anything.
No.
I can't speak for you, but I didn't try to go to a memory at all. I just tried to go, I bet I can push the liquid out.
Yeah, exactly. Which is weird because I actually took a shit right now.
Yeah, and boy, did I. Yeah. I was at Rumors yesterday hosting shows, and I fucked up. I don't often fuck up. I'm really good, both at comedy and hosting. I'm one of the best hosts, one of the best comedians.
Debatable.
I'm talking worldwide, Mr. Worldwide. And so
Doubtful.
it's me, it's a guest spot, very funny guest spot, very funny young man, Milan Haransky, and the headliner.
Great name, Milan.
Yep. And the last name too, it flows really nice. Milan Haransky. Yeah, it's good. I like him and he's funny and I wish him no ill will. And I just say that to preface that I fucked up. I'm hosting the show. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing okay. I do my last joke. It does well enough that I don't have to do another joke.
Cool.
But not great.
Not great.
So I'm like, all right, you guys, you ready to get this started? And they're like, woo, woo, woo. And I'm like, all right, man, you're going to love your headliner. He's done this, that. He's done boop, boop, boop.
No.
Give it up. I get to give it up. And Tyler, the GM of the club, gets on the God mic. He goes, TK, there's a guest spot.
Oh,
I was like,
shit, dude.
No. I felt so bad.
That's
so
a rough one.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know how much it affected him, but Milan, I apologize, dude. I felt so bad.
That's a rough one.
I probably felt more embarrassed than him because he just got to go up and be like, ha, like here I am,
Yeah.
But I was like, oh man, you're right. Okay, so you guys, there's a guest spot before your headliner. How do you like that? I was like, you got to get the energy back up because I fucked up here, folks.
Yeah.
They did, and I brought him up, but I think he had a good set in my opinion. Like I said, I think he's funny.
Nice. How did he take it personally off stage?
I didn't get to. That's why I feel bad because I didn't get to interact with him afterwards.
I'll tell you this: if he's like us, he's talking mad shit right now.
I would.
With his buddies.
That's what I mean. I just wanted to put it out there, dude. That I felt horrible. This is, to be clear on the timeline, this is the day after.
I would be pissed.
I've been thinking about it, dude. I didn't sleep well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really got to me.
I remember when I not first started. I was like good 4 or 5 years in or whatever. It was at the. It was like part of the Improv Fest. Super funny dude, Lee White, from Crumbs fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in Germany right now teaching improv. Super funny guy. He brought me up on stage.
German's humor.
Yeah. He was like hosting. Yeah, exactly. Let's try to make these crowds laugh. We need to go out of country for this. He was like hosting a show or something like that. And he brought me up on stage and we were friendly. And then he's like, guys, you guys are going to like this next guy. He's a really funny dude. Give it up for, Tyler. You know what? Give it up for Tyler. And then I walk out.
Man.
And then I burnt him. I was like, yeah, thanks, Lenny. Cool.
Oh, good zing. Good zing.
But like, I got to tell you, I was pissed. I walked back there. I was like, hey, Lee, so sorry, man. What happened there? Like, you don't know my name? And he was like, no, I do. I blanked. I'm sorry, man. So he was nice about it, but I was pissed. And Milan, if you're talking mad shit right now, we would have done the same.
Well earned.
Yeah, well earned.
I deserve it.
Well earned.
100%, man. I don't know what to tell you.
No ill will though, because
I apologize sincerely.
Yeah, we actually like Milan.
That's what I said. It's, like there's 100 comics I'd rather sue her than him.
100%.
I wish it was 5 other guys. You know what I mean?
Honestly.
And I wish it was intentional, but it wasn't. And it literally couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Yeah.
Normally you use that sarcastically, but
this is one. And normally, if it would have happened to a different guy, we would have been like, "Yeah, well, fuck you, tough shit."
Yeah, I would have said, "Oh, I actually meant to do that," even if I didn't.
Totally.
But not the case.
It's on purpose. Rumors is a good time.
Shit happens, dude.
We had a headliner, Sonny, who was a comic in town, and but for some reason, I hosted Wednesday, And I just could not say his goddamn name.
Oh, sure, because you're racist. Sonny's Indian.
No. I mean, I am, but no, that's not why. My stutter kept coming up on stage.
Yep.
And every time I had to say his name 3 times on stage, and every fucking time it was like, give it up for Sonny Dhaliwal.
Giving him the Jared Nathan treatment.
It was brutal. I was fighting wars up there. And my stutter sucks because it's not like such a common thing that everyone's like, oh, whatever. That's just what he does. It's okay. It's so rare that when it happens now, everyone's like, dude, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
No one knows that I have it. So when it happens, everyone's caught off guard, and the whole audience was caught off guard.
Yeah, they'll go,
yeah.
what the fuck?
I know. I was like, guys, you guys are in for a treat tonight. We got your headliner tonight at the back of the building. Give him a big round of applause. And then everyone's like, what? And I'm like, Sonny Dhaliwal, sorry about that. I stuttered. And then everyone was quiet. So immediately I've dug myself into a hole that I got to try to get out of because of my goddamn speech impediment. Tim, where's that gun?
Yeah, crowds give you no cushion for like, oh, whoops. We all know I just misspoke there.
Yeah.
And now I have to either like address that I misspoke or keep going. And then they're like, does he know he misspoke?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking know. I'm not dumb.
No, totally. No, you're right. There's no forgiveness there. They're just like, it's not like, all right, well, we'll just move past it. And in comedy crowd, the crowd's like, what the fuck was that? And then it takes time to get over it. And then they're eventually like, all right, you're kind of funny. Keep going. But man,
Yeah.
hostile environment.
Yep. Some crowds look at it like theater, where if something kind of goes what they perceive to be off the rails, they're kind of like, oh, is this supposed to be happening?
Yeah.
And other crowds just appreciate that it's like, it is just happening however it happens.
Yeah.
Some of it is theater, some of it's not.
Totally.
Just enjoy it, you dorks.
Yeah. Hey, you knobs. Don't have to sit there going like, ooh, scandalous.
Yeah.
We're off. Uh-oh. This isn't going to plan. Of course not.
That's my least favorite reaction to a joke. Oh,
Oh.
shut up. Like, you know what I mean? Like the fact that you're even doing that implies that you know that there's humor in it
Yeah.
instead of just like being like pitchforks.
Yeah. Some people don't even know when to do that either because like I'll be talking about Burger King and someone's like, whoa. I'm like, really? That's risque?
Big McDonald's guy.
Yeah. Can't believe you went there.
You gotta talk about Wendy's now too. It's equality, dude. If you gotta talk about the king, you better talk about the queen. They got good sauces too over there.
Yeah, totally.
I one time at Rumors, I don't think I've told this story on here before, but I was hosting for Tony Woods.
Tony Woods.
The one and only Tony Woods. And he was to headline, and I'm up there hosting, doing my thing.
Yeah.
And I'm maybe 15 minutes into my 20-minute set. 15 minutes into my 20-minute set. And the manager comes up and hands me like a little piece of paper. And like, we don't ever get these. So I'm like, oh, drop in guest spot. Is it another birthday for me to shout out or whatever?
Yeah.
I look at the note and it says, Tony's not here yet. Do 10 more minutes.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Yeah. Tony's notoriously on Tony time.
Yeah.
Tony's on Tony time.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome. To me, he's the coolest guy on earth. He just did a don't tell set. Like the nice ones they do for YouTube that people are like clamoring to do one.
Sure.
He does one, and the whole set he's got an AirPod in.
He's like, fuck this. I'm going to listen to tunes.
Dude, he's the type of guy that I genuinely think there is a chance that before the set, he was on a phone call and just went, hold on, they want me to film. And just put him on hold to do a set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hang on a second. I got to film a special. I'll be right back.
He's like the chillest dude of all time.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like, do 10 more minutes. I'm like, okay, 25, 30 minutes. Not a big deal. I got the time.
Yeah.
But you try to put jokes in a certain order, pace yourself in a certain way. You've planned to do certain jokes.
Yeah, now you're kind of just floundering.
Yeah, a little bit where it's like, I'm just going to be pulling jokes from my iCloud here and some old stuff, some new stuff.
100%.
It's not going to fit. And so about maybe at 30 minutes, I get another note. I'm like, nice. He's here. Here we go. Look at the note. It says, he's not here yet. I'll let you when he gets here.
Jesus. Okay.
I'm like, oh no, dude. So I'm 30 minutes in and I'm just like, hey, what do you all do at the same time? You know?
Yeah. What does everyone do?
One by one. We'll start over here. And so I get to like, I think I ended up doing 45 minutes.
So you're headlining.
I'm just headlining the show. And at no point, by the way, I also didn't want to like, on the first one, I was kind of tempted to be like, do I say something? But I was like, nah, I'll just tuck it in my pocket. Keep doing my time. They don't need to know. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
As far as I know, they might be like, why is he doing so much time?
Yeah.
But they might just be like, that's how they do things here. And then finally got the light from the back of the room, and I was like, mid joke, and I was like, so, like I said, I go to the dentist, and then, you ready for your headliner?
You never acknowledged it?
No.
Oh, bro.
No. Because I don't want them to think something's wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's not wrong. He just like, I think he said he fucked up. He put the wrong address in the Uber, so the Uber took him like away. And then, he's in his own world probably, so he probably looked up like, you're here, and he's like, no, I'm not. Wrong location. I had to Uber back.
Yo, what the fuck is a trans-Kona? Where we at? I was like, Tony, please, the show started 20 minutes ago. Literally every person in the crowd has been interacted with.
I know all their names, Tony. Which one do you want to know by name?
Yeah, totally. That's
So-
Marcy. She's a nurse.
And then the final nice button on the story is he goes up. So I'm like, hey, give it up for, Tony Woods. He comes up. He goes, thanks for coming out. Give it up for all the comics you saw tonight. It's just me, Tony.
No, just me.
It's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was the early show
That's
too.
crazy.
So it was like, and think about Tony Woods is he loves to do 90 minutes.
Dude, Tony is
It's a
going
fun-
for 90.
It's a fun show. Like it's
Yeah.
not like, oh, it's dragging 90 minutes,
Yeah.
but you're in Tony's world. So he's just kind of pacing it his way.
Yeah.
He really walks through things,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he maybe had to cut it down to 60 minutes
Yeah.
on the early show. And then
Hopefully
leaving,
he did. Yeah.
I think he did because he knew. And then leaving the show on the way out, he was out there having a smoke or whatever. And he goes, hey, come on, let's get a picture. Takes a picture of me and him with his phone that he then later just sends to our friend Emmanuel. Never sent it to me.
Yeah.
Just to Emmanuel to be like, here's that photo of me and your friend.
Manuel's like, okay, delete.
Yeah, he sent it to me so Emmanuel sent it to me. And I was like, where did you get this? And he goes, Tony sent it to me.
Tony.
Okay.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't know too is that between the early and late shows on the weekends, the Rumors staff, while the early show gets let out and the late show is coming in, the Rumors staff is literally busting ass to reset that room. So when the show goes long on the early show, it's chaos. It's chaos for the staff. It's chaos for the bartenders. It's chaos for everyone involved in that operation.
Except Tony Woods.
Except Tony Woods. He's out. He's talking with Emmanuel about Tyler Katowski for some reason.
Can you send this photo to your homie?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, okay, Tony.
Okay, I don't.
You have his number, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just gay to send another man a photo of you, so it's got to come third party.
Yeah. It's like nobody. Hey, Tony. Nobody wants this. Let's just forget about it and move on.
So he's great. I hope he's back soon.
Yeah.
I love him, man. He's such a hoot.
Totally. His big credit. I mean, he's got credits for days, but the video they keep playing is Chappelle shouting Tony Woods out.
That is Mark Twain acceptance speech.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
And he was here when he opened up for Louis, when Louis did Rumors.
For Louis, yep.
Yeah. Him and, who was it, Kevin Brennan?
Yes.
Or one of the Brennans.
Yep. Neil's brother.
Neil's brother. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Remember that, Louis? Remember the good old days?
Remember the good old days?
Remember the good old days, Louis?
We had fun back then.
Well, it did bring us Tony Woods, so that's fun.
It did.
We got Tony Woods out of it.
Tony Woods. But you know what, Louis? Okay, no.
Do the, just real quick, and then maybe we'll move on from this 15-minute ad for Rumors.
Oh, yeah. No. Well, we're just talking.
We're just
talking
shooting the shit
shop,
now. Yeah.
You know? Milan started this.
Yeah, it's true. And I'm so sorry.
Don't accept that apology. Do not accept that apology. Talk shit. All right, you have an enemy now. Use that
Actually, it
hate.
is true. That's exactly what I would have done, and I turned out fine.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. Use the hate and then channel it into, well, nothing productive, really.
Yeah, I've really done nothing good.
No.
Do the Miss Pat story real quick that you just said.
Oh, Miss Pat.
Yeah.
Funny Miss Pat. She's coming back as part of the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. I don't know if she's coming back to Winnipeg.
Yeah,
Is she?
I think she's on the Burt Kreischer show with
Okay, sick.
maybe Whitney Cummings. I know all the lineups. Who am I kidding? I'm pretending I don't know. It's like Theo. I don't know who else is on it though. It's not
weird.
I don't even care.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know them. I have photos of them on my wall with red X's over their eyes. Each of the acts.
Totally. Just crosshairs over everybody. You're like, I don't know. It's going to be a good lineup, though. Yeah, Miss Pat. Anyway, she's super funny. And,
Yeah, she's great.
yeah, I remember, but me and she just wasn't, we didn't get along. We didn't.
I don't think, okay, I shouldn't say that
It's not like
from
we
my
didn't get along.
perspective. I was going to say, it's not that you didn't get along. I shouldn't say that because I don't know from your perspective. But I think she's the type of lady that is just like, you're thinking that you're going to encounter like she's not like people you know. You know what I mean? Like she has lived a different life
100%.
that makes her a person that does not have time for like bullshit or like, and has made her just like, very blunt.
This is very true.
And that's most of her humor, right?
Actually,
it's just like,
yeah.
So if you're not expecting that, it can definitely be like, whoa, is she being mean right now?
100%.
And she's not going to go, sweetie, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's gas.
Yeah. But like I've said during the Louis rant, I said it. I'm super sensitive. This skin, fucking.
It's true.
Transparent. All right. Very thin skin. But Lachlan Patterson actually brought that up too. When I told him the story I'm about to tell you, he said that. He's like, well, the thing about Miss Pat is she's been shot in the face.
Yeah, it's like.
This lady actually was shot in the face, and then she recovered and then started doing stand-up comedy and became successful. This is a very powerful woman, you understand?
Yeah.
And so Lachlan Patterson was like, maybe give her a break that you feel mildly slighted by this woman. And I was like, no, fuck that. You got an enemy. But, I picked up Miss Pat from the Comedy Condom, bringing her to the club, and she's on her phone with the agent the whole time, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm driving my Kia Sportage, all right? This Kia Sportage is not in great shape. So the whole time we're driving, the car's like, and she's on her phone with her agent, and it's on speaker. I'm hearing everything they're doing. They're talking about filming her sitcom, a special, and the agent's like, yeah, Miss Pat, we can do like a 2-camera, 3-camera, like a 1-camera. And she's like, I don't know, 2 cameras sound good. And then the whole time the car's like, and then the agent's like, yeah, and another thing with the venue, sorry, Miss Pat, what's that noise in the background? And then Miss Pat, without missing a beat, says, I don't know, man, this guy's car is all fucked up. And I'm just sitting there driving silently, looking straight ahead. And he's
pretending
like,
you can't hear her.
yeah, exactly. And the agent's like, okay, anyways, well, like I was saying with the venue, and the whole time my Kia Sportage is like, it's not a good start. We get to the venue. She's telling jokes. She's super funny, dude. And if you want to like go see her at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival,
certified killer.
She is
There's
certified
no
killer.
question.
She's hilarious. She's so funny. But anyways,
it's funny for us to say that. I always think that whenever we say someone's so good, I always picture them being like, thanks. Thanks,
exactly.
you guys.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Pat, we know you're watching. You're welcome for that compliment.
I don't know, but also I feel like I was, no matter what level I would be at, I would be like, that's nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, 100%. Honestly. And you know what? Honestly, no matter how, and I'm not saying that Miss Pat is, that I don't like Miss Pat. Miss Pat, like I said.
No, that's what you started with. That is what you opened with. That's the first thing you said, actually.
I'm just saying back then, I had my gripes with this woman. But she doesn't give a fuck.
No, she doesn't.
But, okay, well, I'll say this. Even if I don't like the person, if they're a crusher, like I'll never let my personal hate get in the way of, no, that person's hilarious and like just a killer. Yep. Which she is. But no, what pissed me off about her, she was doing her act and it was great or whatever. But then, actually misspoke before. I told him this off camera. Miss Pat asked me before we get up there. She's like, hey, Tyler, do me a favor. Around minute 45 or so, I'm going to tell you, I don't know what accent.
Is she French? Yeah, what is this? Like she's from Atlanta. You're making her Cajun for some reason.
I know.
Listen here. Foghorn Leghorn for some reason.
Yeah, and then she went all to fucking Georgia with that drawl.
Tyler, is it true they have the Bayou beef out here?
Like your grandma? But, well, maybe I just don't do the voice. But anyway,
yeah, you can say just what she said, and then you guys put the filter on.
Yes.
They should have voice filters.
Voice filter would, yes, select black woman.
Like auto-tune,
Atlanta.
but I just say it and it does it. And then it's like, I'm not doing it. This is the technology's doing it.
It was AI's racist, not Tyler. So anyway, she asked me before the show, she's like, do me a favor, and around 40 minutes or so, I'm going to ask you to bring up some of my t-shirts, okay? And you do that. And I'm like, you got it, Miss Pat, anything. And then she leaves the room and I go, what the fuck? I go, yeah, I got to bring her t-shirts out. Are you fucking kidding me?
Smacking shit off the shelves.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a goddamn
Pulling
comic.
your hair out of your head and eating it.
Yeah. I'm the MC. I'm not your fucking bellhop. This is bullshit. classic MC shit. Honestly. So I'm pissed, but I'm going to do it.
I oblige.
Yeah, of course. What am I going to tell Miss Pat no?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to do it. Although the second time she came around, she asked me the same thing. I told the server to do it. It was great.
See, that's smart. You don't tell her directly. You just pass it off.
Exactly. Yep. So she finally, she's like, hey, Tyler, bring me those. Fuck, I did it again. Sorry. She goes, it's hard not to do this woman's voice. You know? She goes, hey, Tyler, bring me those T-shirts. I go, okay. So I walk up to the front. Keep in mind, this is a couple of years ago. I'm like pretty heavy set at this point. I hand Miss Pat her T-shirts, and she's like, thanks, darling. Fuck.
Thanks, Toots.
Thanks, Toots. Kind of. So I walk away, and before I'm like out of the light, like I'm just standing in the middle of the crowd like a jerk off. She goes, oh, Tyler, one more thing, okay? And I'm like, yeah. It's quiet. She lets it breathe for like 2-3 seconds, okay? And she goes, you're fat.
I still love it.
The room blows up, and I'm standing there like this.
Fat.
I'm fat.
I'm standing there fat.
Yeah, and I don't have a mic. That's the thing, okay? I'm the opener. She's the headliner. Everybody loves her, okay? I don't have a microphone, and I am fat. So I have no recourse. I just got to take that L. Just a big ball of shit. You just got to swallow that down.
Yep.
And I just had to swallow it. So I did what any man would do. I went, and then I walked the fuck in the darkness and drank myself into a stupor.
There is an unspoken honor of being a host where, like, even when something happens like that,
Yeah.
in your head, a normal person that's not like in tune with the comedy and the dynamics of it all might think, hey, when you go up there at the end of the show, just simply say, hey, everyone, give it up for Pat. She's fat, right? But you can't. It's not how it works.
Yeah,
like,
give it up for Miss Pat. We call her Pat Ass.
even if the headliner flounders, straight up bombs to end their set, I don't think there's a world where I would go up and try to hit a zing.
No, hell no. That's the show.
Because I would, if that happened to me, I would fight that host. I would fist fight them.
100%.
I would say, what the fuck is wrong? If you tell me right now that you're any less than 3 years into this, I'll let it go.
Yeah.
But otherwise, man.
100%. It's the old P. Johansson story.
Dude,
should we tell that?
Get
Is that
fucking real.
Okay.
Get fucking real. I don't have time to talk about someone that does birthday parties for kids. Who's got the time?
Dude, he was pissed because someone did do the host post-show zing. And it was actually an innocuous, harmless zing.
Actually, to be fair, now that you say that, now that you've put that direct story into my head, I am kind of like, oh, no, yeah, sometimes it's called for. Sometimes it is called for.
No,
but it just fully depends on, like, yeah, the level of, but it depends on the level of respect that's been put forth to you beforehand.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, totally. But I mean, with, I might get away with that with certain people. You know, you're not going to tolerate disrespect. Miss Pat, though, is the person where, A, she's a killer. B, Lachlan Patterson's right. She's been shot in the face. Okay. And C, well, no, C. So you just gotta just A and B, and you just gotta take that L.
Then C, all the above.
People these days, these days, it's a very underrated skill to know how and when to take an L.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're beat, and you just gotta move on and just swallow it down, eat a McDouble, and wake up the next day and just keep fighting.
Live to fight another. You know how many people have lived long, healthy lives because they've just known when to surrender?
Yeah.
There'll be a nice guy in our story today we'll learn about. Mr. John Pritchard.
Oh, shit. Mm-hmm. John Pritchard.
Yep.
Surrendered. Came out on top.
Lived longer than he would have had he not.
What time are we at?
We could probably jump into the story relatively soon.
Okay, cool.
If you got something else, there's no rush.
No. What was, we were going to talk about, viewer questions. We had
Sure, yeah. If someone on the YouTube page said, hey, talk about the time that Tyga got allegedly held up at I don't know if it was knife or gunpoint for his chains when he came to Winnipeg.
Oh, yeah.
Tyga. Rack City.
Is that the song, Tyga?
Yeah, well, he's the guy. He's called Tyga.
Oh, okay.
And the song was Rack City.
Is that the Canadian guy?
No.
I'm thinking Tory Lanez.
He's Canadian. He's
Canadian.
in jail.
He's in jail right now.
Stabbed up real bad, apparently.
Did he?
Yeah.
Dude, Nicki Minaj. He shot
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion.
If he shot Nicki Minaj, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Her fans are nuts. They're called Barbs or Barbies, I think. And they would be jumping over the prison walls for that guy.
Yeah. But Megan Thee Stallion, I mean, she knows a couple of shooters. She has to. She's hooked up with the baby. They got to have guys on the inside.
That's true.
Yeah, Tory Lanez, you're in trouble, bro. He got stabbed.
People think that, yeah, they stabbed him up bad. But I found out that it was bad because they sent him to the hospital And what you'd think, well, yeah, of course you got stabbed. But I read that apparently in prison, you'll often get stabbed and they'll go splash some water on that. And you're like, go back to your cell. Not the wardens or anything or guards, but like the person that stabbed you will be like, all right, go back to your cell and fucking relax.
You learned your lesson.
And you don't want to be like, he stabbed me. So you're like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But they got him bad enough that he was like, no, I need treatment.
Yeah.
So it's...
And then what, the whole prison was like, oh, he's a snitch. He went to the hospital for a stab wound.
Probably. Like there is probably some connotation of that now that it's like, oh, he's like, yeah, a bit of a rat or a snitch or something. I don't know.
Dude, prison's hard. Mm-hmm. Prison's tough. That's a tough gig.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sort of a lore that exists within the city that like, yeah, maybe that happened while he was here.
What, he got stabbed?
No, that he got like held up for his chain and or that like, I think the story is that they made him dance or something, but it's like, what's the fun in that? Like, where's the video then, right? Like I would record it and be like, ha, we made him do it, right?
Yeah.
There'd be some sort of proof.
Winnipeg's sick in terms of we'll rob anybody. We will steal shit, literally, celebrity, politician. It doesn't fucking matter, dude. We're taking your shit. 100%. Hand it over.
100% I'll give that to me.
Yeah, I kind of like that. This city's got a certain grit, a certain grime, and a certain savageness.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Sure.
Savage, I like it,
Yep.
Because our good friend, the old ball coach who's coming back to Winnipeg, headlining Rumors pretty soon this summer. He's saying he lives in Ottawa now. He's saying Ottawa, real pussy.
No
Coming
grit.
from Winnipeg, no grit, no edge, just nothing. Winnipeg still has that grit and that edge. So the next time you're whining about an unsafe downtown, just remember, it's character.
Yep. Get some character on you.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a character wound.
Ow, dude.
Oh, that guy really put some character into me.
That guy put 5 characters in me.
Yeah, 911. I'm full of character.
I think the guy was high on character. I don't know, man. Please help me.
I'm not sure if this is character or caricature, but I'm fucked here.
Yeah. Let's do the story.
Let's do the story. Okay. This is a fun one. After the war, I went back to New York. You know that one from Hamilton, folks? Come on, get in the comments if you like Hamilton.
I've never seen Hamilton.
Dude, I like it a lot.
It's a play.
It's a rap musical about Alexander Hamilton and the Founding Fathers.
Oh.
George Washington, Thomas Jefferson.
Okay. But Hamilton wasn't actually black.
No, everyone in it is black, though, because it's rap.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
No white rappers?
No, there's one white person, and he plays the king.
Oh, okay.
And it's the guy that played the snowman in Frozen. I think. I could be wrong on that.
I don't know.
Okay, so totally unrelated to Hamilton is this story, which I found so interesting because when looking up these stories, I realized, I was saying this before the show, how little I learned, or at least retained in school.
Yeah.
From things they were I just don't think they didn't teach us a lot of history.
No, I mean, I was a little shitter. I wasn't really paying attention that much, but really Manitoban history, Canadian history, as far as knowledge I've retained, I haven't learned shit.
Yeah.
Dude.
I went most of my life thinking Louis Riel was like a bad guy, but now I've been researching and I'm like, he seems nice. I think I just raised around racists.
Yeah, I know. And you were telling me about Rupert's Land. You dropped Rupert's
Land. When's the last time you heard that?
Like a long, long time ago.
Unlocked the part of your brain that you didn't know.
I know.
Yeah,
exactly. I remember Acadia. There was Upper and Lower Canada.
I remember dumb stuff like that. That the word Cajun comes from Acadians telling, French Acadians.
Oh yeah,
telling Englishmen, they'd be like, "What? Like, who are you? What are you?" And they would go, "Well, I'm a Cajun."
Okay.
And they went, "Okay, these are Cajuns."
Oh.
But see, that's interesting. So that sticks with me. It's so longer form stuff is harder to retain.
Yeah. So the whole term Cajun is just a fuck up
of Acadian. Yeah.
So congratulations, America! You invented Cajun, and it's a typo.
I mean, to be fair, they also showed up over here and was like, "So this is India, huh?"
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so fire up the butter chicken, folks! I love it here.
Hell yeah! Where are all these spices at?
Christopher Columbus came over and was immediately just fucking Bollywood. He was all excited, and they were like, "Who are you?
Who are you?"
Okay, so the story this week is the Battle of Seven Oaks.
Seven Oaks,
so known as the Seven Oaks Massacre.
Yeah.
The Seven Oaks Incident. And it was a violent confrontation of the Pemmican War between the Hudson's Bay Company, which seems crazy to say, and the Northwest Company.
It's crazy. This happened at Seven Oaks Hospital last week.
Yeah, that's the thing. This could have equally happened a week ago.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Northwest Company did just recently take over the bay again.
Yeah, that's right, eh?
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So this is 200 years ago, 1816. And now here we are 200 years later, and the Northwest Company is like, we'll buy that building back. It's
exactly.
like, it's so wild how Canada's history is like,
Dude, yeah, it's still going.
rooted in retail too.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Hudson's Bay is closing, right? And they're having a big
They're
sale.
toast. They're finally done.
They're done. They had a big sale, and for a few of my friends, 100% off. They were just robbing it blind.
Yeah, I'm not saying names because I'm no snitch.
Nope.
But someone told me they stole like a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, well, how did you just walked out with all that? And they're like, oh, well, I stole luggage too.
Yeah. I put it in the suitcase I stole.
That's exactly it.
It's incredible.
Incredible.
Really. And they're out of business. They were going out of business anyways. So does anyone give a shit? I don't.
Nope. Yeah, so this occurred
Yeah.
on the 19th of June. Funny enough, coming up right away. If you're listening to this, it could be on the day of this.
Anniversary.
In 1816. So what is that, 208 years ago?
Yeah.
I did this, like 208, like I'm not just looking at the number right here.
Yeah,
like I was doing the math. Did you believe me? Did you think I was doing the math there?
209.
Well, Wikipedia is wrong then.
No, 208.
Well, Wikipedia is right again. Near modern day Winnipeg, specifically, like Kildonan Park, I think is where the monument is.
Oh, yeah, right.
Kildonan.
Park? I used to work at a vendor near Kildonan Park. I got busted for smoking bong rips.
It's Main Street and Rupert's Land Boulevard.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's an obelisk.
Sure.
So pretty cool.
Nice.
It's at the approximate center of the battle, where the battle was, and it's a National Historic Site of Canada. Which, like, yeah, no shit. Once you hear what I'm about to tell you and whatnot. So
Tell us.
There's a couple people you probably need to know. Well, I guess there's a couple things you need to understand. You have to go back and understand that in the early 19th century, so the early 1800s, I guess, Canada's still a colonial frontier. Things are changing quickly. It's mostly fueled by fur trading. The long-established Hudson's Bay Company. So Hudson's Bay had been there for quite a while, trading fur. HBC for purposes of I want to short things moving forward.
Man, fur was massive back in the day.
Yeah, it was like, the number one trade in the Hudson's Bay, and then because Hudson's Bay funneled everything into Canada, obviously, for the most part.
Then AI showed up, killed it.
AI ruined the fur trade.
Ruined the fur trade.
How do I know that's a real pelt?
Yeah, exactly.
And then they had an aggressive rival, the Northwest Company, or NWC, if I should choose to use that. So HBC was granted control over Rupert's Land, which was like this large section covering much of modern day Canada.
Okay. Manitoba included?
Yes, for the most part.
Okay, cool.
By the British Crown. The British Crown gave control of that land to HBC.
Hell yeah.
They, meanwhile, Northwest Company was kind of more of they call it a scrappy upstart run by Scottish and French Canadian traders who built relationships with the indigenous people and the Métis and stuff like that. So you kind of have look at it as like kind of the corporate overlord and local business a little bit to some degree.
No.
So now enter Lord Selkirk.
Lord Selkirk.
Lord Thomas Douglas Selkirk.
That's actually a pretty badass name.
So of Lord Selkirk, of Selkirk, the city of Lord Selkirk High School.
Yeah.
Those are all named after him.
Is this a good guy or a bad guy? Debatable.
An interesting guy. Interesting guy. A colonizer, to be sure.
Okay.
So it depends on what you think of him as, like an Elon Musk of colonization.
Yeah.
So he's a Scottish nobleman, philanthropist. He had this vision of resettling poor Scottish farmers in North America. So in 1811, he acquires a huge land grant from the HBC to establish the Red River Colony.
Okay.
In what is now southern Manitoba. But so he shows up with the okay from the HBC to be like, go ahead, you can set that up. He had been buying shares of the Hudson's Bay Company to slowly be able to effectively do this. To cash them in, to be like, hey, I want to have some of that land you got over there.
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, sure. Cool. So that's what he does. Goes over with the intention to set up the Red River Colony. This did not fly with the Métis and the Northwest Company, who saw it as like a hostile takeover of effectively their trade line. So their supply went right through that land and didn't sit well with the Métis, which, as we know, are like, I guess if you're not familiar, if you're not from here, you might not be, but it's like a...
They're like pirates, our matey. That's where it comes from.
That's not true. They're people of mixed heritage, indigenous, European descent. It's a lot of like French and indigenous intersection, more or less.
Totally.
That's the prominent.
Tread carefully.
That's the
here,
quickest way.
okay?
That's the quickest way to describe it. Is that it's the result of European and indigenous mating.
Canceled.
Yep, that's what it is.
All right.
So a lot of the people that worked for the Northwest Company relied on this land for just like free hunting and access to it. Northwest Company was like, yeah, it's all good. Just go ahead, get some bison, get your whatever. It's all good. Like we're pretty harmonious over here. It's all good. So this was like a pretty severe threat to their way of life.
Yeah, they're fucking pissed, dude. You're cutting our shit off. We're not doing that.
Yeah. So tensions build pretty fast. Crops start failing. Food is scarce. In 1814, the HBC's appointed governor of the colony, Miles McDonnell of Miles Mac College.
Oh, yeah. We got a school named after this guy.
We have stuff named after almost all of these guys. So good or bad, like the impact is...
I was going to ask you about that because like, we've had a lot of name changes here in Winnipeg because of, like Bishop Grant, and everyone's like, oh, he's one of the founding members of this country. And then like 200 years later, everyone's like, yeah, he also killed like 1,200 kids, burnt down a couple of orphanages, and then we rename it.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if Miles Mack is going to get a rename, Lord Selkirk's going to get a rename.
I was kind of wondering that as I was learning about this stuff. I was like, wow, these names are all familiar. And it's like, you're reading, you're like, they seem like bad guys.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. At least by our
Weird.
current standards of like, just like, being like, why? Oh, colonizing is maybe not so good.
Yeah, exactly. But how are you going to change the name Selkirk? How are you going to change that town? We have a town named Selkirk. How are you going to change him?
Which comes from, he signed a land treaty with Chief Peguis, actually. This is separate from this story, but Selkirk signs a land treaty with Chief Peguis, and I guess that's where that land comes from ultimately.
Oh, okay, cool.
And they stuck around. I don't know how naming comes to be, but that's how they got that.
Nice.
Yeah. So we got the HBC kind of putting the clamps on the Northwest Company a little bit. We got the Métis, who are partnered in a lot of ways with the Northwest Company, in ways that they certainly would not be with HBC.
Sure.
And they're pissed. Miles McDonnell comes in, tries to restrict the export of pemmican. This is it's like dried meat, tallow, and sometimes berries. Think of like all the stuff in trail mix, kind of like mushed into like a ball using like beef fat.
Yeah, like Wendy's.
It's like Arby's.
Yeah, it's like Arby's, really. Pemmican. I know, totally.
Yeah, so you would eat this either as is, or it was super calorie rich.
Oh, okay, cool.
So the idea was like, same idea as trail mix. It's like it really fuels you up, and it's kind of like it can be quite compact.
Okay. It was like colonial Cliff Bars, really.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
That's what they're doing.
And very, very traditional to the indigenous people, indigenous cuisine.
And what are they doing with this? They seized it?
They are banning the export of it.
Oh, okay.
Right. So
no Cliff Bars anymore.
The Northwest Company and the Métis people go, no, we need that to live.
Sure.
Like, we're shipping some of it out through the forks to our people on the East Coast and wherever else, and they need it. That's their food. It's like,
That's how they eat.
So they're pissed. It's a huge blow. The Métis people are mad. Northwest Company is mad. And now tensions are really kind of growing.
Nice.
1816, things escalate further when HBC destroys Fort Gibraltar.
Hudson's Bay Company.
Which
no
is
wonder
now,
you went out of business, you bum.
Which is now Fort Garry.
Yeah.
Upper Fort Garry. Like there's still like the half fucking castle or whatever.
Oh,
over there.
yeah.
That's Fort Gibraltar.
Is that the one where a bunch of kids were hanging out on the platform and then it gave way?
I think that was in St. Boniface.
St. Boniface, yeah. If you don't know that story, a bunch of kids were like, we love history. We love knowledge.
That's the one.
And then the
Fort
plank
Gibraltar?
broke and a bunch of kids got hurt. It was a bad look.
I guess that's maybe the one.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's right. Anyway, it was a key Northwest Company trading post near the Forks. So it'd be like the one in St. Boniface. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I guess the one in Fort Garry's near the Forks too. So I don't know which one this one is.
Yeah, where the kids got hurt.
Yes.
Yeah. The kids got hurt.
So it was near the Forks and the Assiniboine Rivers. It was a deliberate strike to try to tear down their infrastructure and knock down the Métis trade a little bit more.
Sure.
And in a lot of ways made it clear that the HBC was not going to fuck around. They were here to like really lay claim to this land.
Sure.
So, meanwhile, there's a fella called Cuthbert Grant
Cuthbert Grant.
of Grant Avenue,
Sure.
all these sorts of things.
You know, my girlfriend's actually a descendant of Cuthbert.
Is that
Grant.
true?
That's true.
He is-
She's Métis.
Quite a fella, dude. The Métis Captain General. He's often called the first leader of the Métis Nation.
Yeah.
Led them in what is now considered Canada's first assertion of Indigenous nationhood, which is what we're about to get into, decades before Louis Riel.
Oh shit.
So it's quite, took his job super seriously in the way that he organized the traders and
To the point where everyone was like, "Hey, Cuthbert, lighten up a little bit, all right? You're really breaking my balls. You just chill the fuck out, all right? We're doing 12-hour days here. We're doing 6 hours. You're still pissed off. You're pissed off all the time, Cuthbert. Chill the fuck out."
They named a rose after him.
Yeah, because it's got thorns. This guy keeps kicking our ass. Sick of this fucker.
In 1816, as a part of this battle, he and his men hoisted the Métis flag for the first time.
Oh, okay, cool.
So he and his men were the first ones to be like, we are a nation. We are going into this battle as a nation against
Was it the blue with the white infinity?
the blue with the white infinity. Yeah.
Cool.
And this is during the Pemmican War, not specifically during Battle of Seven Oaks. I don't know that they had flags up because it was sort of you'll see in a minute. Anyway.
They call it the Cliff Bar Conflict.
So meanwhile, Cuthbert is setting up a little place called La Grenouillère, which is like I think it's called Frog Plains.
Frog Plains is right.
Yeah, which is funny because they're French, right? It's hilarious that they they called it that.
Yeah.
So it was a small Métis settlement nearby, and it was becoming slowly pretty important. Like it was kind of evolving from like a little town stronghold into like a place of cultural significance and a political stronghold for the Métis.
Sure.
As kind of like, oh, that's the spot.
Okay, yeah.
That was 1816 that they took down Fort Gibraltar.
Yeah.
An aside just to introduce you to Cuthbert Grant there, and a small aside now to introduce you to Robert Semple, who was once, I guess we'll meet him in a moment here, but Miles Mack steps down because he went nuts, basically. He had like a mental health crisis.
Nice.
And they put in his place Robert Semple, who was not really a military dude. He was a travel writer and a journalist who spent time in Africa and South America. And then they appointed him the governor of the Red River Colony.
Nice.
And he was just kind of like, I'll try. I could write about Africa.
Speaking of which, this week's contest winner was Nadine Semple. Relation?
Dude, I wonder.
Interesting.
These people, it's only 200 years ago, so that's like 4 generations.
Yeah.
Not
What do
even.
you mean Miles Mack went crazy?
Just a little bit nutty as any person could do today.
Well, it's a good thing we got a school named after him.
Lost the plot a little bit towards the end of his life.
Yeah, let's name our school after that fucking lunatic.
Yeah. We can dig into him later, but I'm trying to keep all these characters kind of like at the level we need to know so that we can learn about the battle itself, and then we can come back and learn about these guys later on other episodes if we
Miles,
want to or whatever.
Stop sticking pemmican up your ass. All right? That's not where that goes.
That's why you banned it? You're sick, dude. You're sick. I like you, but you're sick.
That's weird, dude.
Had very little frontier experience. Quickly showed up and just took a hardline stance against the Métis and the Northwest Company. Just like instantly was like, fuck these guys. Wait, hold on. These are who we're fighting? Should we kill? Like, what are we doing?
Just being a dick.
Didn't like him immediately. Was just kind of like, why haven't we dealt with these guys?
Ugh.
Yeah. So that takes us to the Battle of Seven Oaks.
Hell
June
yeah.
19th, 1816.
June 19th, 1816.
Things had escalated. Cuthbert Grant comes in. He's educated, strategic, passionate, the Métis leader in a lot of ways. Many people trusted him to protect them with their lives. They would follow him 100%.
Huh.
That June, Grant and a group of Métis men, riding under the flag of the Northwest Company, in this case, were moving supplies through the Red River area. They were doing it. They don't care. We're bringing our fucking pemmican. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, right by Maine and Leela, right by that Baraka.
They are...
Great pita pockets.
Not yet. Robert Semple, from who had taken over, like I said, from McDonald, was more aggressive and kind of escalated things almost immediately. So he saw them someone saw them coming from Fort Douglas, I believe, which is now on waterfront.
Okay.
So right on the edge of waterfront there, that was Fort Douglas.
Sure.
At the time. Trying to find the exact date here. I guess it doesn't matter that much, but
No.
he was trying to get some food out that way. They were heading towards Seven Oaks, escorting a shipment of pemmican to Lake Winnipeg.
Northwest is.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the Northwest group, led by Cuthbert Grant.
Sure.
So they're going to go drop off some food for the Northwest Canoe Brigades from Montreal, which had to pass by en route to Athabasca.
Yeah.
So they were kind of being like, here's some food, keep on going west.
HBC is like, this is our land. Fuck you, Cuthbert, and fuck your pemmican.
Right.
You're not getting through.
Right. And they said, no, we need to. We're going to keep doing it regardless. So in retaliation for them destroying Fort Gibraltar, the group, this is Cuthbert's group, stopped a flotilla of HBC canoes coming down the Qu'Appelle River and took all their shit, seized their shipment of stolen pemmican, destined that was going to the Red River Colony. So they said, we're going to just escort you guys back out to the Red River. They seized the Brandon House Trading Post, which was one of the first fur trading posts of the Hudson's Bay Company. So they backed them up that way, said, we'll be taking this.
Nice.
They split towards Lake Winnipeg and into two groups, one on each side of the Assiniboine River.
Oh.
Fork style.
Yeah, man.
HBC spots the second group coming. Robert Semple says, let me get 20 men. We're going to go out and just see what's up.
Okay.
We're going to talk to these guys. They loved Semple. All these guys were like, we're all coming. And he was like, no, we're not fight. Like, I don't want to fight. I just want to go see what's up. This is the claim from both ends, that it was like not meant to be a confrontation, really.
Okay, cool.
So they went out to confront them. They apparently, the Métis and the Northwest Company, this is, didn't really want to engage. So they kind of tried to go around. Semple's crew came out and cut them off.
Flanked
them up, and then like spaced out to line up like, hey, thou shalt not pass sort of thing. The Métis and the Northwest Company lined up in sort of a half circle as if to be like, what's going on here? A little bit, just to make sure, cover our backs a little bit or whatever. Northwest Company sends a guy called Francois Firmin Boucher to speak to Semple's men. Just in case now we're kind of at a standoff. We're going to send one guy out to be like,
Francis, go talk to him.
What's up, dude?
Yeah.
They send him out. He and Semple argue briefly. Some of the arguments say that they were saying things like, what do you want?
Fuck you. No, fuck you.
Where is the, let me get this fucking Seven Oaks battle up here. Yeah, they apparently were like, we want our fort back. And they said, then go get your fort. And he went to go grab his gun, allegedly. This is Semple.
Robert Semple's like, yeah, I'll get my fort right now. Grabs his gun.
Yeah, so John Pritchard, an eyewitness, said that when the two men met, they both asked what they wanted. Boucher told them, we want our fort back. Semple, kind of taunting him, said, then go get your fort. Like, it's not here.
Yeah.
It's over there. Go get it. We're in it.
Yeah.
And then reached for Boucher's gun, allegedly. Michael Hayden, I guess another researcher, did an inquiry, states that Boucher asked the governor, why did you destroy our fort, you damned rascal? Then Semple...
Old-timey swears are so pussy. But back in those days, rascal, that's like calling a guy a cocksucker or something.
That's what I mean. So Semple then apparently on this account, according to this account, went to grab the horse's reins to basically arrest him. To be like, all right, you're under arrest. Okay, you're coming with us.
Yeah.
It's not clear what happened, but from then a shot went off. Accounts are saying that it was very likely one of Semple's men, whether accidentally or otherwise. His gun went off, which triggered fighting from everyone now. Now shit hits the fan.
Yeah. Now everyone's like, oh, fuck, it's on.
Worth mentioning is that at some point during this interaction, the numbers were maybe like 14 or so Northwest Company and Métis.
Oh, it's pretty small. It's
and
like
20 to 26 of Semple's men from the HBC.
It's like a crew on a crew.
But during the interaction, more Métis men joined.
Oh.
Kind of saw what was going on. Like, oh, shit, we better get over there.
Sure.
And they quickly outnumbered the HBC.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to fight. Like, I think as far as the HBC side go, and they know likey this interaction, But the shot went off, the fight started, and within 15 minutes, nearly everyone from Semple's group was either injured or dead.
Damn.
Yeah. Semple was still alive when the fighting ended, had a non-fatal injury. I think he got shot in the leg, fell off a horse, maybe broke his leg.
Sure.
Semple was considered himself non-fatally injured. So Grant apparently approached him. Semple then was like, "Are you Grant?" To which he was like, "Yes, I am." And he was like, "I'm not fatally injured. If you take me back to whatever, you take me back to the fort, I'll live still." Grant was like, "Sure." Because they were still honor, like they weren't, "I got you.
Yeah.
I'll take you back, but don't fuck with me here."
I'm not trying to kill you. I want my Cliff Bars. That's all.
That was Grant's opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Grant goes, "Yeah, you got it." Well, he says this, a Métis drives by, goes, bang, shoots him in the chest.
Oh, shit.
Not on our watch, dude.
Yeah.
And they said that was a little bit of a difference of the Métis, that they were more aggressive in being like, "Oh, no, we'll finish you.
Yeah.
We will finish you. It's just that, sorry, we don't take prisoners. We don't do anything like that."
Yeah, no. I don't know if you got the memo, Cuthbert. We're not fucking around.
Which is where people say that this battle was skewed by white Anglophones who were like, "Wow, these savages," right?
Sure.
But now history has sort of shown like they didn't want no beef. They weren't looking for beef. They were just trying to get their pemmican where it needed to be.
100%.
These guys came out and engaged them, and they really had no choice but to go at them.
To let off, yeah.
To go at him. And they said that what initially had happened was, I guess, they start firing. Semple gets shot almost immediately. Like, just gets fucking capped.
Okay, cool.
So he's down. His guys all run over him to be like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" Meanwhile, the Métis are just like, bing, 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 bing. Because now they're in this cluster all around this guy,
They're
right?
grouping together. This is really easy now.
Then they fired off all their first rounds, dropped to their backs to reload.
Sure.
Like, just straight up drop, like the drag queens do, like the big, like, bam, onto their backs to reload. So Semple's men are like, we got him all.
Oh, yeah.
Then they pop back up, start capping him again.
Sure.
And so Northwest and Métis side, 1 killed of 65 men. Ultimately, they had 65 men on site. Of the 28 men on Semple's side, 21 killed.
Oh, it's a blowout.
They massacred these guys.
It's a massacre.
They whomped them. And Semple didn't want no part of it, but it's like he was brazen, made a lot of rash decisions.
Yeah.
And very quickly got a lot of people in serious trouble.
Hey, you want to play the man, Semple. Look at you now.
Pritchard was one of the guys who surrendered, running forward with one of his buddies to be like, "Hey, whoa, we surrender. They shot his buddy in the face.
Oh, shit, dude.
And,
Okay,
then apparently just like cut him open real good. Like,
damn.
Didn't gut him, but just like made sure to be like, no. For whatever reason, they did. I got to find out. I think it was maybe Grant that said, no, leave him. We're not going to kill him. Chill. And the Métis were like, "Fuck you, Grant. We're going to beat the shit out of him."
Yeah.
And he was like, no, seriously. Chill.
Guys, chill.
So he was able to protect a little bit there, but they mopped these guys. It was really quite a treat.
So what was the lasting outcome? Did the lands change at all?
They would go on, not immediately in this battle, but they would go on to take Fort Douglas.
Yeah.
Which obviously was significant.
Sure.
The forts would kind of change hands back and forth a couple times. Obviously, with Semple dead, that changes the governor of the Red River Colony now.
Sure.
So Miles Mack, I think, would have gotten word of this and been like, "Oh, maybe I should loop back down there and just kind of see what's happening." Like my replacement just got smoked. Maybe I should just go see what's happening.
Yeah.
But the British sent guys over to do special inquiry, and they concluded that like the first shot was likely fired at Francois Boucher from Semple's side, whoever it may have been, and that it was
Semple started it.
They started it.
Sorry, bro, you started it, and you got wasted. That's gang shit. That's Streets 101.
Yeah, Selkirk would keep hustling. He led a force of 90 soldiers who had been discharged from the Demiron and de Watteville regiments to try to recapture some bases, Fort William, for instance. He tried to prosecute a lot of these members for murder, I think 17 of them in all, and kept Boucher in prison for nearly 2 years without specific charges. Just like he was up to no good. Lock him up.
2 years for being French.
All trials ended in acquittals. Nobody ended up getting charged for anything, or at least they were let off the hook because, like I said, it's fair game, pal. You engaged us and we lit you up.
Self-defense.
Yep. And it's funny. And then in 1920, the British, overseers were basically like, stop fighting.
Yeah.
You have to, they made them merge. They're like, you have to stop. That's not.
Come on. That's enough now.
That's how government works, dude. You guys got to merge.
Yeah. Use your voices. Use your words.
Yeah. HBC would go on to give Cuthbert Grant an annual salary in 1828 and the position of Warden of the Plains of Red River. So he was kind of the dog.
Just don't shoot us anymore.
Yeah, please, dude. Please stop. Yeah, he was like a very important figure, obviously, with like sort of the pre-Louis Riel. It's funny that he doesn't get the credit that Louis Riel does.
Yeah.
Louis Riel may be a little bit more what we consider a modern revolutionary type guy. Cuthbert, I think a little more classical, major modern general, George Washington style, but like of the Métis. Yeah. Just like, here's how we will move. Here's how we will grow forward.
Louis Riel more of a Zach de la Roca.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate the way things are too. Hey, man, I got to agree with you on that one.
Things are not good. Back in Vietnam, 1968, there was a general and his... I'm like, Zach, just sing this. What are we talking about?
Sir, please.
You're too angry.
Cuthbert Grant was known to have been married 3 times, had 3 sons and 6 daughters. So there you go.
Well, couldn't keep a marriage together? Come on, Cuthbert.
No, well, what happened was his first wife, Elizabeth Bethsy McKay, they were married in 1814 at Fort Gibraltar. Their marriage produced 1 son, James. However, while Cuthbert was on trial for his part in the Seven Oaks, both Bethsy and their son James disappeared. Their fate is unknown.
Oh, Jesus.
So there you have it.
This is now a true crime podcast. We're looking into the disappearance of Cuthbert Grant's kid.
Yeah, if you're out there, let us know.
Get in the comments if you are Cuthbert Grant's daughter and son.
In the 60s, Canadian-born James Bond film producer Harry Saltzman attempted to make a feature film about Grant that would have been shot in Canada, and it was to have starred Sean Connery as Cuthbert Grant.
Hell yeah.
How cool would that have been?
No, man, leave these guys alone. Don't shoot Semple in the head.
I'm serious about this.
I'm serious. I want my pemmican.
I love pemmican.
Give me back my pemmican. You're the man now, dog. Give me back my pemmican.
It was seen as a big victory for the Métis people and sort of their first assertion of nationhood alongside.
Yeah, they're establishing their, hey, we're a people and we ain't playing.
Yeah, and we'll prove it if pushed sort of thing.
We got a flag. We're shooting dudes in the face. Take us seriously. I like it.
Yep.
Good for the Métis.
According to oral tradition, stories passed down through word of mouth. I'm sucking him off and he's learning stuff. He's downloading as I'm sucking him. It's data transfer. Yeah, so I swallow this big fucking load of data. So they gathered that night in their Frog Plain camp over at La Grenouillère. Which was that little, Métis camp, which was becoming more important. They all gathered to celebrate victory. There, the Métis poet and balladeer Pierre Falcon, Grant's brother-in-law, wrote La Chanson de la Grenouillère, which is a song about the battle.
La Chanson de Grenouillère.
And it is
from 59 to La Jamodière.
That's actually better than the actual song is by a large margin.
Okay. So
it is not very good at all.
It's a bad song.
Well, it's just not. It sounds like he freestyled it. You can find it online pretty easily.
Yo, I'm just going to, dude, these bars straight off the top of my dome right now is about the Battle of Seven Oaks. It's called Chanson de Grenouillère. Chanson.
It's a type of song that includes like some pretty straight up and down, some lyrics like, would you care to hear sung a song of truth? Last June 19th, the band of Bois Brûlés arrived, a band of brave warriors. That's the Métis people he's talking about.
Yo, dude, I'm going to go for a smoke. This band sucks, bro. This song sucks. I'm going to go for a dart. Yeah, no, I know. I'm here to see my buddies, man. This band fucking blows, bro.
Is Regurgitated on tonight? They're not playing?
Dude, I got to go. Regurgitate's playing next door. Also, fuck this song and fuck this guy.
It's funny because at the end, there's a verse that says, "Who composed this song? Good old Pierre Falcon." All right. Shouts himself out at the end of the song. Like your producer tag.
Totally, yeah.
Era, Pierre Falcon on the beat.
Check me out on SoundCloud.
Imagine if SoundCloud was around back in the day.
Yeah, totally.
Just snare tracks. And then the guy comes in, yo, it's Pierre Falcon. We won another one.
Totally. It's still called Trap. The Trappers.
So this was part of a larger war called the Pemmican War, which was a series of violent confrontations between these two.
All over Cliff Bars, man. History is fucking dumb as shit, dude.
Hey, you just make your own berries.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you just make your own shit?
Yeah. Hey, you know that beef trail mix? We can't send that to you. Is there any way that you could make our own? Yeah, we're doing that already. We keep telling you don't have to send us that shit.
We dry it here.
Yeah.
We have so much sun. There's so much. We have almost too much sun.
We actually don't even eat that anymore. That tastes like shit. We never liked it. Stop sending that to us. Yeah.
It's actually really bad. They try some. Why did we export this? It tastes like shit.
Totally. They're dying for this. This tastes like ass. Hey, dude, what time are we at?
We're almost done. This is it.
Okay. Oh, sorry. No, I was just wondering.
No, yeah, this is actually pretty much it. Good internal clock. Yeah, so these are the kind of struggles that formed our great nation.
Battle of the Seven Oaks.
Fort Douglas down, Fort Douglas retaken, Fort William down, Fort William reclaimed.
Yeah, you know, it took a lot of struggle and a lot of dudes getting shot in the fucking face to make this country what it is.
See this photo of Semple. I'll include it in one of the posts or whatever. But there's this photo. I don't even know it doesn't even give a source on it. I guess I'll have to dig up the source.
The source is Semple himself. It's a selfie.
It's this photo of, it's like it's drawn, I would assume. Cameras running around, you know what I mean? But it's a drawing of, Semple just getting shot right in the chest by a man on horseback. It's like, it's funny because from their perspective, they were just like, bam, that's the shot. Like, we smoked his ass.
Yeah, totally.
And boy, they did, man. They did.
Yeah.
But there's really interesting stuff in these battles.
Yeah.
And we'll dig into more, obviously, like when we touch Louis Riel, we'll get into the Red River Rebellion.
Yeah, dude.
Which is not even like the one that got him in big trouble, but it is maybe the more interesting one.
Okay, cool.
And just like tons of interesting
a lot of
cross sections. I just thought this one was so interesting because of the amount of names that are sort of recognizable by, oh yeah, Grant. Oh yeah, Selkirk. Oh yeah, McGilvery. We didn't really touch on McGilvery, but McGilvery was around in this time too.
Yeah. McGilvery.
And Semple, nothing though. It's funny that Semple, like,
he doesn't have. We don't.
He got the Wilkes Booth treatment.
Yeah, Winnipeg's not big on Semple. There's nothing named Semple around here.
Not that I'm aware of. Yeah, it's quite interesting that he kind of got. I mean,
Some
to be
street
fair, he
Elmo
showed up,
dude.
had almost no experience.
Sure.
Immediately led his men into a battle they weren't equipped for.
No.
And got him and all of his pals killed. So,
but his men loved him, so he must have been a pretty good dude.
Yeah, but keep in mind that, like, I think it was easy to be loved by the British colonies if you were just like, yeah, why don't we wipe out these assholes?
Okay, sure.
And they were like, oh, fuck yeah, this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
And then they show
Trump,
up.
Trump.
Yeah. And then they quickly find out, oh, we're not wiping these guys out because they're very good with guns, very good with bows, very good on horses.
Yeah.
And they're faster and smarter than all of us.
Yeah.
So maybe that is one reason. But other than that, maybe we'll try again. Maybe we'll try again in 30 years.
Yeah.
Which is where
I was going to say that too. You know, Louis Riel, he's a Manitoban hero, right? He led a rebellion to the French.
Especially to the French.
But like even in Manitoba, like we got a statue of him and stuff like that. He led a rebellion. He was actively trying to, take down the status quo. So if someone were to do that today, they would be regarded as a criminal. But
well, he was hung for high treaty. So
high treaty.
Treason.
High.
We're getting near the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I could go for a high treaty right now.
But I'm just saying, if you're at home, you're watching, and you're like, I want to lead a rebellion,
Don't.
Some of these criminals, some of these criminals in jail right now, they might have statues. Tory Lanez might have a statue someday. Okay.
Made by Leo Mole.
Exactly. Everyone thinks he's a criminal right now, but you know what? He might just be a hero that we haven't recognized yet.
Maybe he was the good guy.
Yeah. Megan Thee Stallion, little, Robert Semple action going on.
I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying. Stallion.
Yeah, man. So that's the Seven Oaks, the Battle of Seven Oaks.
Pretty cool. Now
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I think we'll get away from history next episode, maybe, just to lighten it back up.
Sure. Yeah.
These are dense ones. There's a lot of info in these ones.
There's dense. There's a lot of information.
I try to keep it fun, but
Yeah. What was last week again? Oh, we
Monty
did
Hall with
Monty
Mark.
Hall. That was cool. Yeah, totally.
yeah, so that was fun. I mean,
David Reimer's the one I'm thinking about. That one was heavy too. That one was heavy.
But interesting. I like to think that when
Super
it's not as light, it is at least it balances and interesting. I could be wrong. But
No, it is, but sometimes I feel like a dick. I feel obligated to make this funny, and then with the David Reimer, it was hard to make that. It was hard to like, hey, here's another wise crack. And it's like, yeah, and then he killed himself because of depression.
his cock was crazy. Here's a couple of maybe kind of like interesting, just fun facts to kind of close out the vibe on.
Factoids.
As far as Lord Selkirk goes, he was, like I said, purchasing, controlling shares of HBC in order to push colonization plans forward.
Okay.
Like he just saw HBC shares as a way to acquire land.
Okay.
So he was using the company like kind of like a billionaire now would use a corporation for political, like Elon.
Yeah. 100%.
So
totally.
the example I have is like after the Battle of Seven Oaks, Selkirk personally marched with those Swiss mercenaries, like I said, the De Meuron regiment, to retake Fort Douglas. So that's pretty bold at the time.
Sure.
To like see Lord Selkirk rolling up, you were like, whoa.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like that's Lord.
That's Musk in the Doge department.
Showing up with soldiers to be like, we're here to take.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Oh, that's what you mean.
like
yeah.
he's literally moving in with mercenaries to be like, we're here to take this back. And you're like, wait,
okay.
you're the guy that owns the land. And he's like, yeah, I'm the landlord. You're getting evicted.
Sure. That'd be like Trump going on like an ice raid.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. So at the time it was crazy. People were like, whoa.
No,
holy shit.
I mean it. I want you out.
Yeah.
I want you out right now.
You gotta go.
You gotta go. All right. This country's huge. It's a great country.
We've got so many
You
vans.
gotta go though. You're not supposed to be here. These people are animals.
So it's often called Canada's first Civil War battle. And this like really led to, because, there was other little pokes and pecks here and there, but it was the first one where it's like, we got a major corporation, HBC, another major force,
Yeah.
the Northwest Company, and we got death.
Totally.
We got real death on our hands.
All of North America just fighting with each other. It really gangs and shit, just taking each other out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they said the Métis used guerrilla tactics, were better armed, better mounted, and so they made it a case study in how Indigenous and mixed heritage groups could outmaneuver colonial powers. Kind of the first example of like,
True insurgency.
yeah, sure, they got a cannon, but it's like, do they know how to shoot from a riding horse from an arrow?
Totally.
That was an advantage that a lot of the Indigenous warriors had. It was like, you can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
You don't know how to do that.
And they got one big cannonball. We've got a bunch of arrows.
Yep. Yeah, and it's an interesting case of, like I said, a battle of sort of just the lore told from different perspectives.
Sure.
Where from, the white Anglo side, they're kind of like, wow, they massacred us. What animals? And from their side, they're like, we defended our nation. What do you want?
Just like today.
Yep.
You know what's funny, though? I was thinking we started off this story by giving the school shit. But honestly, they probably tried to teach me this in grade 6 and 7, and I was like, "Hey, teach, shut the fuck up. I don't care."
Yeah.
And now I'm like, "Where did they teach us this?" They probably tried. I probably have a teacher watching the podcast right there. Maybe Miss Heinrichs watching this podcast saying, "Tyler, you're full of shit. I taught you this 5 times, and I passed you just to get your annoying ass out of my classroom."
I was sick of teaching you this, in fact.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. You refused to learn. Okay?
Yeah, that's fun. We'll dig into all those guys one day. St. Vital, St. Boniface. We'll learn about all those goofs.
Yeah, I forget. These are all dudes.
I think so.
Maybe one day.
They could be bitches, too. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, maybe they threw a couple of broads in there,
As the British call them birds. Oh, is there any birds in here? The old bird.
The old bird.
Well,
Tart.
taut.
Well, they would say tot.
Oh, taut. Yeah.
She's a fit tot.
Yeah, fit taut. That sounds like you're making saying a child's hot.
She's a fit hot.
Like a fit taut.
She's a fit tot. That's how Miss Pat talks.
Listen here, child. It's time to wrap up this episode.
It's time to wrap it up.
Well, that was a good one, if you ask me. But what do I know?
That was cool.
I am biased.
I am biased too. We think this podcast rules. You should too if you're smart. If you're intelligence, okay, in the brain, in the old noggin. If you've got any knowledge, then you know. What are we doing? First of all, shout out to Tim Gray, our producer, and Ashdown Market for hosting us as usual. Lucy's Comedy Club is...
This place is great, man.
It really is. It really is.
I was here before the podcast started. I was the first one here, and I was walking around, literally just thinking, man, this place is sick. It's so good.
Dope.
The pews, it's a good little screen if you want to do some interactive comedy. It's awesome. Come check it out. It's great.
Come down for a comedy show. Wednesday night comedies here at Lucy's Comedy Club.
Shout out to Rumors Comedy Club, our sponsor this week. The contest is on our page to win tickets to see Mike Feeney.
Saturday, early show.
I'm hosting that one.
Are you hosting?
So I'll see you there.
Well, there you go. Go see what it's... We give you a bit of a behind the scenes look.
Behind the look. People say that.
Behind the look. VH1's look behind. Into what an MC does. Go see Tyler on stage, and now you know behind the scenes that he's up there, he's pissed, he's rattled, and he's wanting
My brain's working.
It's working. He's working.
I'm really up here. I'm really a guy.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I'm a dude. I have feelings.
So that's that.
Yeah, shout out to Rumors Comedy Club. Follow us on Instagram. God damn it.
Oh, please do. Subscribe, like. You got to do.
Yeah.
Do the big one.
At Tyler Penner Comedy, at Good and Funny Comedian, at Prairie Dawgs. Just do it. It really does nothing to you.
No, and it helps a lot. It helps more than you think. Also, what helps is doing a review on Apple for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Do 5 stars, obviously, and then just say that we're good.
Yeah. Do 6 stars.
Do the battle of 7 stars.
Yeah, totally. Hack Apple's webpage and add a star. But thank you guys so much for watching.
Yep, appreciate it, and we'll see you again next week, folks.
Love you.
Love you, bye.
Bye.